Welcome back guys to a new video. Now today's video, as you can see on the screen, I do have the PC patch notes for the brand new update version 259, and this will be exactly the same for the console as well guys, which hopefully will be getting that update very soon. On the console it was meant to be coming out tomorrow on the Friday, but I think that's probably been pushed back now because the PC patch notes were pushed, well the PC update was actually pushed back a few days to today, so hopefully we'll be seeing the console update over maybe Monday or something like that, which would be awesome. But anyway, if you guys do enjoy this video and you wouldn't mind dropping a like, that would be great. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing, if you're new to the channel, that'd be great too. Thank you for all the support you guys have been showing on these videos. It really does mean a lot. It's been great recently, so if you guys can keep showing the amazing support, that would mean so much to me. Now today's video is probably going to be one of the longest videos that I have done in a while, and the reason for that is because there's so much coming with version 259 as well as obviously the console update, and it's just going to bring in so many fixes guys. It's going to add in a few little things, obviously exciting things like saddles and stuff, but it's going to be fixing some of the biggest problems that people have asked for a while. Now, lots of people say you need to, I've seen in my comments and stuff, well, they're like, Wildcard really need to start bringing in, you know, stuff that is actually fixing the game rather than just bringing in loads of content. And in these updates, they are doing exactly, they're answering exactly your guys' questions of why this hasn't been happening. And it has been happening in other updates, but this is where they're really nailing down and a lot of big problems there are, and we're going to go through everything in this video. So scrolling down, we are starting with the main few things of the video. So upcoming version 259. So new item tech tape jar saddle, which is going to be obviously, you know, in the sky as having the first ever flyer with tech on it, which is going to be awesome. So see how that works, and you'll probably be able to shoot from the sky. It's like a little spaceship basically, which is going to be great. A new skill is coming guys, which is the crafting skill, which is replacing the crafting speed, and the crafting skill increases crafted item quality by 33% for 100 points into crafting skill. The item then displays your name, your tribe name, and indicates what percentage bonus you will receive when crafting, so that's pretty awesome. A new feature is something I think that should have been into the game much earlier than this, but so awesome they're finally bringing this into the game, and I suppose they're just getting ready for the full game. Corpse locator. Upon death, a beam of light shoots into the sky to help a player locate where they died. Enable on official servers by default, and you can add it by yourself using the command shown below. You can pause the video at any time guys if you do want to read anything and, you know, just note anything down or any information you might want to know just to get yourself ready for when the update does get released. There's going to be a new host option where which is disable structure placement collision. Unofficial servers and single players can enable this feature to allow them to place structures that clip into terrain, which is definitely something awesome with the command as well. Another new host option, use single player settings. When enabled, this edits all game settings to be more balanced for an individual player experience. And another new host option, fast decay. Enable this for an option for a fixed constant decay period for fast decay structures such as pillars or lone foundations. So they're the main sort of in-game stuff that's going to be released as like sort of features. The next things that we're going to be talking about are all of the stuff getting fixed, and you know, just so many bugs getting improved and stuff, and I'm so excited to see all of these coming into the game. So the first one, new kill, death, speech and talking icons added. Implemented hibernation, I couldn't even speak there, from console to PC, which introduces over 500 megabytes saved in memory for spawning dinos. That really went bad for me trying to speak then. So that's definitely a massive amount of megabytes saved in there for spawning dinos, which is going to stop a lot of lag, I think, because I know sometimes when dinos spawn in certain areas it can actually increase lag. So 500 megabytes saved in memory is going to be a massive thing for the game. Fixed graphical issue where crops appearing massive. Player ragdolls becoming malformed when falling from great heights, which is going to be fixed, which I get so much, so I think that's definitely a great thing to be added into the game. You know, when you fall from big heights and your body goes all funny and stretches and stuff like that, that is going to be fixed. Fixed player getting stuck in rocks, trees and structures when logging out of single player, which I do get quite a lot as well. Fixed dino spawning issues in single player that caused overspawning of certain creatures over time, an issue where spawns were becoming depopulated. Fixed single player settings via the slider from resetting. Fixed baby cuddle interval multiplier setting via the host menu. Fixed traps not working after a game/server restart. Bear traps, species wide traps, narcotic traps or alarms. Fixed various lighting issues on the center and the island, which is awesome. Fixed low landscape LODs on both the center and the island when using low viewing distance. Certain landscape will stream in better quality from further away, e.g. the Skull Island on the center. Improved war paint on female model around the hairline. Fixed issue where a player appeared to be floating above the saddle when boarding a dino while crouching. Fixed electrical cables appearing unpowered when reloading a single player game, which I've actually had for a while. Fixed issue where logging out in single player while holding a shield showed the player holding 2 shield on relog. Fixed explorer note sorting. Fixed ATV from repeatedly honking when leaving and entering render distance, which I have had, but there's been other things like the ATV is very, very buggy at the moment, so hopefully they'll be fixing more of that. Change the tribe manager to have tribe log highlighted by default when using controller. Fix grappling hook being enlarged when shooting at a large storage box. Colorize boss health bars to indicate boss difficulty, which I think is something really cool to be added in. Added feature to allow players to set the light level of their lamps. Change static mesh of plant species X to remove swaying and firing animation to reduce client FPS drops. Added on-screen indicator icon when structure placement is in rotation mode. Fixed issue where the cooking pot provided infinite dye, which I haven't actually done that before, but I've actually heard about that though. Buffs that prevent firing, such as the shock buff, now cause the player to lower their weapon. Made alt fire on the paintbrush now paint yourself, which is probably obviously for the PC. Added new live versions of all in-game music, which is the new music that's going to be added in, which is what I showed you in the last video. Fixed issue in single player where logging out with a tool equipped to cause the inventory to lock up. Implemented kill zone under the seafloor, which is obviously, so that means that you, if you do glitch under the seafloor, you will die because there's a kill zone under there. Fixed supply crate I can't even speak today. SFX to always be audible. Fixed issue where respawn animation was not in single player. Added new music stingers when you tame a creature, which is going to be interesting. Increased range of boss music in areas, in arenas or areas, that could be the same thing. Obelisks in single player / non-dedicated now each have a boss spawn from a specific obelisk. Transfers can only be done via the obelisk, which is a massive thing because obviously only having the Broodmother is pretty boring personally to me. Days are now 25% longer. Nighttime remains unchanged, which is what I definitely want because I prefer having the day, you know, on the game. It's just, you know, and I always end up making my days longer in my settings anyway because you can see more. It's so much easier to play, especially when you're building and stuff. Tribe ownership settings now default to personally owned in single player / non-dedicated. Fixed issue that now causes sitting on a chair on a platform saddle not to calculate player temperature and location approximately. Fixed issue where being unconscious would cause the player to not receive lava damage, which I didn't actually know about. Tech rifles now stop working in thunderstorms. Homing rockets no longer target your own turrets. Mind wipe tonic can only be applied once per level up. Oh, that's a new one. Stat decrease of the blueprints from fishing. Reduce max fish size that is catchable with a fishing rod with honey 2.2, leech blood 1.88, and sap to 0.94. Reduce fishing rod effectiveness by 35%. That's interesting because that's going to make it much harder now. Increased the Lipro Aurodon, which I can never say, loot quality buff by 20%. ATV engram is available in single player after reaching max ascension, which is, I didn't know that was actually a thing. Well, I didn't even know that was going to become a thing, so obviously you now know. Fixed issue where walking through electrical cables and pipes would cause the camera to move around in different unintended ways. Fixed issue where feeding trowel was not updating spoilage timers. Fixed issue where the player could get stuck inside doors by closing the door on themselves. Remove boss arena and tech cave timers in non-dedicated. PvE non-build functionality has been removed from non-dedicated servers. Slightly increased difficulty on the Cavern of Lost Faith. Prevented regular Dino gateways from supporting the, I can never say the word of it, behemoth, that's the one I was looking for, gates. Added final statted items to loot crates. Fixed canvas not being visible when placed on tech walls. Added lots of crystal, obsidian, and rich metal to caves, all caves except the tech cave. Re-added metal to the volcano, approximately 70% of its previous resources, which I think is a pretty awesome thing, because obviously having none there is where everyone used to always go from back in the day. Added categories from maps in the host menu. Added an alternate engram points per level array to non-dedi or dedicated. Fixed issue where wooden cages would heal themselves up when picked up, which is definitely not good because they do wind me up sometimes when you get locked into a wooden cage. Fixed issue where player could wield a riot shield and chainsaw at the same time. Decrease mutton effectiveness by 20%. Rebalance speed gained by player level up. Fix not being able to sit in chairs/benches when placed too close to a table. Increase radius of house buff by double. Also flagged gate frames as walls, which allow them to give them an indoor buff. Fixed issue where dinos placed in cages would float upwards and glitch out of the cave. Fixed issue where players could not walk inside of a fallen redwood tree. Corrected specimen implant colors of ascending after ascending. Obelisk now save inventory in single player. Boss biomes no longer hear time of day transition sounds. Fix frozen vacuum chamber walls as shown as windows in localized clients. And reduce club effectiveness scaling with quality by 55%, which is definitely something that needed to happen. They were just insane by 55%. That is huge. So that is everything of the main first bit. I did say, guys, this was going to be a very long video. So if you are at this point of the video, you have made it through the first bit of the long video. But I'm hoping you guys have enjoyed it because obviously you found out lots of stuff. Because I think personally reading through everything, I don't even get bored reading through because I'm reading through some amazing stuff that definitely needs to be fixed. And I know most of you guys will pretty much enjoy that as well. So we're on to Dino changes. So there are loads, as you can see here, scrolling down. So we're going to try and get through these as fast as we can in this video. I'm sorry, I'll try and make it more, you know, obviously with videos like this, I like making it in depth so then you guys can read through everything. I'll also be leaving the link in the description down below to this page if you want to read anything over again. Fixed issue where dino attacks could not do damage under low server FPS. Fix the dino fleeing mechanics so that dinos should no longer run into walls endlessly. Fix the dino fleeing mechanics so that dinos should attempt to run towards the player, not towards the water, which is definitely a massive thing, previously causing them to torpor out in the water and drown. In case where the dino cannot reach the player, it may still up ending towards the water via picking up a random direction. Fixed the Thylacoleo, I always say the name, on the Capricious and the Megalosaurus, and the Tuso, where when attacking, the creature was able to force the target under the world, which I've had that massively, making them unrideable and unmovable, which is, you know, I've had that so many times, especially with the Tuso, so definitely having that fixed, is, you know, it's going to be a big thing. Rebalance speed gained per tamed level up on all dinos. Fixed issues where unconscious player could be pushed through a terrain by Capricious. Fixed issue where Tuso could grab through an iceberg. Well, that's interesting. Fixed issue where babies were consuming less food when floating. Fixed issue where babies were consuming more food than intended as they tried to regain health. Regaining health no longer costs food for babies. Changed all creature names to their long form. Made Trudon scared of light sources. Raised Terro saddle level to requirement to 38, which I didn't even know. That's going to be much. That's going to be much different because obviously I think is it 32 before? I wasn't actually too sure. Something like 32. Added damage scalers to the Trike and Stego, which makes them more resistant to damage. Increased Parasaur stamina by 50% and increased its speed in water. Increased angular light radius underwater. Decrease the amount of fall damage for tamed gigas, because they do actually take a massive amount of fall damage. Made Mozchops easier to tame. Increased insulation ability of the Dimetrodon. Fixed fur cap on Methopithecus, which is obviously the little monkeys. Fixed Santa Hat on Galley. Fixed the alignment of metal water taps on pipes. Rebalanced Equus saddle cost. Reduced the gather rates of the Therizino. Oh, that's pretty sad because they do get so much. Reduced the base damage of wild and tamed gigas. Fixed issues with Ovis and Kentrosaurus where their baby/egg would fall through the floor. Creatures will no longer drown when they are encumbered. Fixed an issue where fish did not appear in the lower south cave, Cave 1. Remove piranha spawns from the shallow pools in the redwoods. Great, because there's always so many of them. Decrease wild carno damage by 15%. Reduce terror bird spawns in redwoods. Removed Titanosaur spawn from Herbivore Island. Okay, that's interesting. I think that's probably the best idea because they do look silly on Herbivore Island. That's what I think personally. Fixed issue where beehives were stacking up on top of each other. Wild Itchies HP reduced by 50%. That is interesting. So that means they're going to be very, very weak. Added HUD notification for Pegomastax when it's not pickpocketing. Obviously, added HUD message for Itchy stealing or Itchy making you drop your weapon. If a tamed Uteranus has Carno followers, the followers now properly attack at the same target. Fixed issue where riding a Phioma or a basically giant turtle caused the player's size to increase by twice the normal size. Added functionality to allow the Gigantopithecus to gather fiber using the C key. I didn't even know that. Added cooldown to Tuso so its ink ability cannot be spammed. Increased trilobite spawns to be more common in shallow areas, which is good, so you can get more chitin more easier. Made it so fertilized eggs do not count towards the egg count in the given area. This was causing fertilized eggs to be laid and the dino to go on to breeding cooldown, but there was no eggs laid. Increased unstatus range on trilobites. The word I can never say, but you guys know the other thing underwater, and animites or amamites. Deep ocean coal added with increased unstatus range with bias towards their larger sized. Land creatures now only receive 50% of their regular additional speed increase while swimming. Does not include Spino or amphibians. Fixed dung beetles not processing fertilizer correctly after server restart. Prevented Pegomastax from attacking when the player has nothing it can steal, which is pretty good. Added 30-second cooldown after the player is stolen from unless the player attacks the Pego, in which case it will ignore the cooldown and attack you. Prevented Pegomastax from robbing the same team. Fixed issue where passive tames will not resume eating after being knocked out and eventually starve. Fixed SFX distance from Itchy and Hesperornis. Fixed the egg hatching bar from disappearing in single player when relogging. Fixed issue where torpor stat for newly tamed dinos was not displaying correctly. Fixed issue where status was reducing the food consumption of dinos. Hyonodon taming now scales properly with taming server settings. Reducing turning speeds of tamers by 0.5 seconds, their current speed when they're in combat, so creatures like the Manta or the Tero can turn fast enough to properly attack. Enabled pack buff to tamed Kenstros. Increased duration of Giga Roar. Fixed Quetzal platform not being paintable. Added Spinosaur Roar. Added missing eating animations for sounds for creatures. Should all have proper animation now. Still have a few more eating sounds to add. Prevented baby Phylacios from spawning on redwood trees when born. Improved landing AI for Quetzal and Wyvern or Wyvern, whatever you say. Fixed an issue where flyers out of stamina would not auto land and would get stuck in the air. Fixed a Megalosaurus breeding to prevent babies from needing to / going to sleep. Fixed obviously the Phylacios from always roaring when coming out of status, assuming a Superman pose when jumping off a surface it wouldn't climb, from getting into a state where it would walk forward without player input. So that's obviously to do with that, and also a server crash caused by it. Reduced tail collision on medium and large creatures. Fix babies from growing into the ground over time as they age. Improved logic into minimize Sarco tails from gravitating towards ceilings, which I've seen so much. Fixed a move towards whistle command to help to work after dismounting a dino if the dino is in a group. Also now plays the proper animation. Fixed the player from taking damage while riding on a griffin in single player. Adding griffin icon and level up animation. Fixed the spyglass not functioning properly while flying on the griffin. Fixed issue where the griffin gained unintended speed when equipping a weapon. And fixed an issue where dinos could aggro turrets even though there was no damage being done. So, that was all of the dino improvements, fixes, bugs, and stuff like that read through to you guys there. And I hope it has helped you. And if you have made it to this part of the video, I hope you now do understand everything that is coming out with this update. As I did say, I'll be leaving the link in the description to obviously to this page where you can read through everything that I did just read through to you guys there. There was so much, and I did say this was going to be one of my longest video, but I went through everything as best possible as I could because obviously there was so much coming in this update, guys. But as I did say, this will be coming out for the PC and the console. The console hopefully will be coming out in the next few days, and the PC hopefully today. Or there's a chance that, you know, the Xbox and PS4 could come out tomorrow, but I really don't know, and I will let you guys know if I found out any more updates. But anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video and you wouldn't mind dropping a like, that'd be great. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, if you're new to the channel, that'd be great too. Thank you for all the support. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, the links are always in the description down below. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a video very soon. See you guys later.